All right, so this is the original letter from Christian Huygens to René Descartes. It's dated 1652. In the letter, Huygens proposes two new mathematical theorems, and then he goes on to criticize Descartes, who was his advisor at the time. This is about the time when the scientific journal was first introduced, and this is how science was done at the time. You handwrote your science, and then you packed it up, mailed it off, and you waited a long time to get a response back. Just like you wait a long time for the next slide. Yep. And here we are 360 years later, and not much has changed, right? We're still doing pretty much the same old thing. And in fact, there's two very prominent issues from that day that still remain with us right now, which are students are still criticizing their advisors, and we're still writing letters, sending them off, and waiting for a response. Now, the medium may have changed. We may be using digital letters these days. We may be emailing them off, but we're still using a 360-year-old antiquated system that for some reason we have not chosen to investigate, make more efficient, and reinvent. All right. So what is the problem? Well, you send off your results, you submit them to a journal. During that time, you don't have something that's citable. You don't have something that you can cite in additional research. You don't have something you can cite in a job proposal. You don't have something you can cite in a funding proposal. And studies have shown that these are artificial, self-imposed barriers that we're putting in place to slow down the pace of science. This is something that we're doing to ourselves, right? And so we keep doing it over and over and over again. And even after our results are accepted for formal peer review, in many cases they sit behind a paywall, and people at smaller institutions in some places around the world don't even have access to them. All right? So why do we do this? Why are we using a 360-year-old antiquated system, right? We're scientists, we're engineers, this is what we do. We build things, we take them apart, we look at how they work, we look at where the inefficiencies are. Why have we not applied the same methodology to the scientific publishing process? In fact, there is a solution to the problem. A number of scientists and engineers in other disciplines have found it, and what we would like to do is bring this here to the EarthScience and rethink about how we do scientific publishing. We think the solution is something called a preprint. This is the publication of scientific results prior to peer review. This is not instead of peer review, this is just in addition to peer review. We have this wonderful thing called the internet, and we want to bring this into play much, much sooner. And so with a preprint, what you can do is put your scientific research out there for the masses. It's free, it's open access, it's completely citable, you get a DOI. So we can connect it to other features on the internet like social media. Studies have shown it can be spread further and wider, you get more feedback. And what ultimately gets sent on to a peer-reviewed journal is, in the end, a much more polished paper. And so a group of us got together with the help of ESIP and the Center for Open Science, and really just a couple of open source tools, and started to think about how we could bring this idea to the earth sciences. And so we set out to share this message and started spreading the word in things like AGU and ESIP and other venues. And then a wonderful thing happened. About 150 people from around the world got in touch with us and said, yes, we would like to do this. We think the preprints is the way to go. And so EarthArXiv was born. EarthArXiv is a free preprint service for the earth sciences. It's operational now. You can upload your preprints, make it immediately available to colleagues around the world for free. In addition, you can add in your data sets. You can add in your software. You can capture the entire research process. Everything is citable, and most importantly, it's all free and open access. Doesn't cost you a dime, right? So why wouldn't you do this? Studies have shown that preprints lead to more engagement, more citations, more reuse, spreading your research around the world. Really, there's no reason not to do it. And then the social component helps spread your research further and wider, right? So you can get great retweets like this and people talking about how great your science is and spreading it around the world. It's becoming part of academia. And so with EarthArXiv, we're heading off in a different direction with scientific publishing. We want to take advantage of preprints and the wonder powers of the internet, and we hope you'll join us on this adventure.